This is the Variety Show 2024. I usually don't do videos about Hollywood pop culture and music videos and bands. I usually don't get too much into that topic. But that's why I called the channel the Variety Show, because I don't want to talk about one thing like current events, politics. I'm all over the place, because that gets boring. All you're going to talk about is politics. So Coldplay, the band Coldplay, the rock band. I'm not much into rock bands, but Coldplay with Chris Martin, the lead singer, like they've been doing some interesting stuff. The last two releases from Coldplay have been interesting. They had the video with Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid. He put him in one of his music videos, which is not a bad song, not too bad. I saw the video with Karate Kid and Coldplay. I saw that video, and then Dick Van Dyke, who is an American national treasure in this country. Dick Van Dyke is an American treasure, uh, and he had him on. He's like almost 100 years old, and he's in a Coldplay rock band video about 7 minutes long. He had on Dick Van Dyke on, I think it's called All My Love. Kind of an interesting video where Dick Van Dyke is dancing and singing with Coldplay, someone totally different generation. And, like Dick Van Dyke show, like he did some great stuff back in that era. He did some, as an entertainer, like he did some good stuff. Like he's up there with Jackie Gleason and Art Carney. Like Dick Van Dyke is American treasure. Like he's one of the classics. Like he did some great stuff back in the day. And so Coldplay's been doing some interest. The last two um, music video releases from Coldplay, they've been doing some very creative stuff. I think Chris Martin from Coldplay is a talented musician. I think he's one of the better people in the entire music industry. Which there's so much garbage and there's so much trash out of Hollywood and the music. There's a lot of terrible music. A lot of the up and coming artists, they're putting out bad stuff that's just terrible to listen to. But Coldplay's been doing a few interesting, just something interesting. I like, when an artist does something interesting, that's good enough for me. It doesn't have to be the greatest song, but just to do something interesting. And I commend Chris Martin from Coldplay because at least he's being creative. He's doing something different. And he does a video with Karate Kid. Interesting. He does a video with Dick Van Dyke, almost 100 years old. Interesting. Like he's doing interesting stuff. And they're so boring. Most of these celebrities out of Hollywood trying to do music videos. They don't know what they're doing because you have to do something interesting. Yeah, I like it when people try to be creative and they make an effort to be creative. And Coldplay is doing that. A lot of these other, singers are just horrible and they're not being creative. They're putting out the same old generic stuff. I see a lot of the Vivo, the music videos, Vivo music videos. I see a lot of the stuff from Vivo, who controls all the music videos. They own all the rights on these videos. I keep up with a lot of the new artists. They're terrible. 95% of the new music videos are terrible. Terrible creativity in 2024. We're a long way from the days of Elvis Presley and the Beatles just because we got social media. We are a long way from the good old days of music and movies and pop culture and entertainment and all this stuff. And I Dick Van Dyke. I mean, he's at his age, he's doing a lot of crazy stuff. Like he was on a reality show not that long ago, The Masked Singer. I don't know if you've seen The Masked Singer. That's where it's a reality show where so you got a performer with these judges. He puts on a mask. And they try to guess who it is. And it turned out to be Dick Van Dyke. And The Masked Singer is a very interesting reality show where you got the peacock and you got these elaborate costumes. It's a weird show. And Dick Van Dyke goes on reality television on The Masked Singer, and he puts on a costume and starts singing and dancing. And he's doing crazy. I mean, he's almost 100 years old. He's got this white beard. Like he's doing all this crazy stuff at his age. So I just thought that's interesting. The Variety Show 2024.